March Madness continues on a Saturday afternoon. We welcome you from Dickies Arena in the Lone Star State. We're in Fort Worth, Texas. New arena, first time they've hosted an NCAA tournament. And what a good one we have to get us started today here on CBS. It is the Baylor Bears, the defending national champions, and the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's a 1-8 matchup. It was Baylor taking down Norfolk State in the 1-16, and then North Carolina over Marquette. And dominant performances by both these two teams in the East region. The winner will head to Philadelphia. And hi, everybody. We welcome you. Brian Anderson along with Jim Jackson, College Basketball Hall of Famer. Allie LaForce is with us as well. And Jim, these two are coming off of very impressive performances in round one. So set us up here, North Carolina and Baylor. Let's start with Baylor and the guy who led the Big 12 in assists, and James Akinjo.
The beauty about this is you can dominate a game without scoring. Okay, James Akinjo was 2 for 6 from the field, but he had 10 assists. He kind of orchestrated the offense, a high-powered offense of Baylor. But then you go to the other side of the ledger, and you talk about Armando Bacot. And the reason why is because you got to pay so much attention to him, not just scoring, but keeping him off the offensive glass. So this is going to be a good strategic game between both backcourts and also front courts.
Love this point guard matchup today. North Carolina with Caleb Love. Love was so impressive against Marquette. Had a great first half, 21 points in the first half, went for 23 overall. And James Akinjo, a terrific performance. As Jim mentioned, he was the facilitator. You know he can be a scorer. Baylor and North Carolina. There is Hubert Davis in his first year as the head man at North Carolina. Took over for Roy Williams and Scott Drew. His Baylor Bears defending their national title. It has been one of the great rebuilds in the history of college basketball down in Waco, and Baylor trying to make it back-to-back. We haven't had a back-to-back winner of the national championship since the Florida Gators in 06 and 07. How about this note, Jim? The first meeting all time between Baylor and North Carolina. Kip Kissinger will put it in the air. Brent Hampton, Donnie Epley are three officials, and away we go. The Baylor Bears have the first possession, and right away you get the ball into the hands of Akinjo. Akinjo and Flagler, this excellent backcourt. Flagler gets the friendly bounce and opens up our scoring in this second round matchup.
Well, the key also, one of the keys for North Carolina is how they're going to play the pick and roll, because right there Flagler was able to get off, get to 15 feet, and get a clean look. So defending that and forcing Baylor to be a little bit more uncomfortable with their pick and roll game is going to be very important to North Carolina. R.J.
Davis trying to get it inside to Bacot. Knocked away by Flo Thamba. All right, Jim, how about our keys to the game presented by Great Clips?
Well, here's the thing about it. Contain the dribble for it, and I just talked about that. In regards to Baylor, loves to get multiple opportunities to swing it side to side to get you. See Davis pull up for a nice three. And for, North Carolina, here's the thing. Defending the pick and roll and being able to keep that penetration down in Baylor, make North Carolina take some tough twos.
That was a tough two opportunity at the layup, and that's the story today with North Carolina, how they contain Flagler. And there's a steal. Kendall Brown. Brown all the way. Defense turning into offense, and we saw it all day on Thursday as the Baylor Bears took down Norfolk State.
Well, if you haven't seen Baylor play this year, last year was all about the backcourt being so contagious defensively, okay? But they're longer, more athletic on the wing positions this year. So they haven't fallen off. It just shifted a little bit in regards to where their defensive pressure now comes from.
Here's Love. Love had that great first half against Marquette. He made his first basket in that game. He misses his first try here. Akinjo lightning fast, and he sets up Flo Thamba, a little mid-range. No, and it's ripped out of his hands by Armando Bacot. First team All-ACC selection. Finished runner-up, did Bacot. Player of the year in the ACC. Highly decorated teams both. North Carolina coming in here as an 8 seed. They were firmly on the bubble until they got hot late. Matter of fact, they've won 13 of their last 16 games. Put together a 6-game win streak late, including a win on the road at Duke in Coach K's final game.
Nice
With
skill.
one to shoot, R.J. Davis knocks down a triple to put the Heels on the board.
But how about the find by Brady Manick? Because he could have kicked it up top. but he saw the rotation beginning to happen, and he was able to kick it over to R.J. Davis for an open three who knocked it in. Offensive foul.
Flagler, it's going the other way.
Yep.
Offensive foul, Baylor turnover, and Flagler's first.
Well, watch this. Here's really good defense by Baylor, but watch Brady. He sees that Flagler is already committed up top to Love, and then the offensive foul. Now, keep in mind, Carolina was 13 for 35 from the three-point line. A lot had to do with Caleb Love, but that's a key indicator when Carolina is rolling, and that is going to be tough to stop.
Offensive rebound. Love has missed badly twice. A little bit of concern early. Well, that's got no concern here from R.J. Davis. I mean, North Carolina, you start looking at their featured scorers and in Love and Manick and down inside to Baycott. And suddenly here early, the guy who's found himself open is R.J. Davis, and he's knocked down a couple of threes.
Well, that's part of the scouting report, too, because you want Davis to have to beat you. Look, he was only 1 for 5 in the last game against Marquette. So if he's going to beat you, you just make the adjustment early on him. But you don't want Caleb Love to be able to get started in this game because he puts so much pressure and stress on the defense that other things open up.
Both of these teams starting their day early. Oh, Davis, he's cooking early. R.J. Davis knocks out another triple, making that a long two, actually. North Carolina now on an 8-0 R.J. Davis run.
Now, this is an 8 seed, right?
Whoa.
North Carolina?
Yes. And again, they are happy to get into that 8 seed, but they're not playing like an 8 seed right now. This is a team that is rolling.
Yep.
And matching up against the top-seeded Baylor Bears as Brown comes up short. Well, so going to be a lot of one-and-dones for Baylor, Jim. Baycott clears the rebounds.
A lot of people ask me about North Carolina. Why are they 8 seed? I said because early in the season, their schedule, they dropped some games, but they got better as the year went on. So that's the reason why, and R.J. Davis is a big key to why North Carolina has become one of the prominent teams in the country. He's loving all bit of this. Carolina up 4.
Now we welcome in the third member of our team, Allie LaForce. Hi, Allie.
Hey, Brian and Jim. Well, Baylor head coach Scott Drew has the itch. He was the youngest active coach in Division I to win a national championship last season. He's in a hurry to do it again, but two things stand in his way: North Carolina and Dickies Arena. The team showed up today, and the garage was closed, so Coach Drew was humbled by it. Went up to the garage door. He's begging on the door, "Please let us in. We want to win." But that is one thing he tells to his team: stay humble and stay hungry. And this time it wasn't the opposing team keeping him humble, it was the arena.
Hey, Allie, I understand because I go to a lot of places. They look at me like I'm crazy.
Close the door on
They
Jimmy.
close the door.
Get out.
I'm trying to get in cigar bars, and they're like, who are you? What are you doing? But you know what? But that's his personality.
Yes.
Think about when we were sitting down talking to Coach Drew, just how excited he was. Because this game, this pressure can wear you down. But it's never the case for Coach Scott Drew. He's always in a positive mood. And if you're not feeling that way, he will. His attitude is very infectious. I love to see it.
Well, he lives what he preaches.
Yep.
The culture of joy that he spreads here. And the Baylor Bears, North Carolina, got themselves a 9-0 run going. Baycott with the free throw. And Sohan in the game for the first time. Jeremy Sohan, he is a serious threat.
Yes.
The freshman. He was born in Oklahoma, raised in London, of Polish descent. His mother is from Poland. And he figures to be a one-and-done player at Baylor. He's a talent. In the corner, and that one is down. Another one good for Caleb Love. So his first basket after he missed his first two, and this Baylor run continues now. A 12-1 run for the North Carolina Tar Heels, I should say. R.J. Davis really got him going with those 8 straight points. Akinjo can't connect. Here comes Carolina. Davis at the controls, working with Baycott. It's a good two-man game. Baycott, flurry of moves, and Baycott scores on Flo Thamba. Nicely done.
Well, it's beautiful patience that time by Baycott. Also, that middle pick and roll is so tough to guard. When you have a young man that has a repertoire of moves, it's tough to stop him. Finally, James Akinjo is able to get to a spot and pull up for a nice little jump shot. But Carolina very patient offensively against this pressure defense by Baylor.
Three-pointer, no good. First opportunity for Brady Manick. Manick had a terrific opening round performance with 28 points and 11 rebounds. And he has the duty to try to check Sohan, who gets to the middle. Sohan, he's got a lot of length. Comes up short. Offensive rebound for the Bears. Sohan going again. And that's going to be a foul. Gives us a chance to remind you that Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. It's like the GOAT. Is that fact checked? You can debate the GOATness. Hubert Davis and North Carolina, they've taken down some #1 seeds. Only their ACC rival Duke with more. 8 victories over #1 seeds. Roy Williams in the house, 3-time national champion. He's just a fan these days.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little more than a fan, but he's like a fan. He's got the camera out. He's taking a lot of pictures. That'll be a travel. So Baylor got themselves a second opportunity, and they turn it over.
This one just lost the footing. Those nice pink shoes right there just didn't have the grip on that drive. But you go back to Hubert Davis. He also has an infectious personality. He took a little bit of what he learned, from Dean Smith, but also Roy Williams. Kept that kind of mantra in place, but put his own personality spin on his team, which is what you have to do as a coach. Hence, his guys have responded, talked about late in the season with their play. Beautiful pass.
Maddox springs, and throws it down. A two-handed jam. Baseline cut by Brady Manick. Nice find as well by Leaky Black. Black has both the assists now. Here is Akinjo, and he's got the switch he wants. The big man's on him. Akinjo goes by him. Quick release and scores.
Tough shot. But that's the dribble penetration I was talking about, because the guards for Baylor are so crafty once they get 2 feet inside that they can finish over some of the trees inside.
Inside again to Baycott, and he just pummels his way in. No, offensive foul. And Sohan getting tangled up with Baycott. Three officials quickly restore order. Emotions are high.
Oh, yeah, the push off right there by Baycott with the arm. Watch it here. Sohan in great position, but it's the push off. And I was in the elevator with Sohan yesterday. He had a little ice cream.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, it's funny. You think about these young men. I said he's a freshman. He's young, right? And he's just walking around. He had ice cream. He's
still 18.
Still 18.
Just a kid.
And I'm like, I'm so old, I forget what it was like to be 18 until I saw it.
Taking a look at this here, Jim, just to see if there's anything. Sohan kind of clamping the legs down on Baycott.
Right there. That's what they're looking at.
Going for a ride. Sohan has tried to check Baycott a couple of times. And we have Gene Steratore standing by in New York for any discussion of officiating, especially when these officials are going to the replay monitor.
Yep.
And let's bring in Gene now. What are you seeing there, Gene?
What they're looking at is when the foot gets stuck, the Baylor player is squeezing that foot right there, as we see, and he's extending that hold on that foot, which is a safety issue. Now, look, that's after the foul occurred, so that's a dead ball scenario. So I believe they'll go to a dead ball contact technical on that because of the fact that this could be a safety issue, and it's after the play ended, so that turns into a dead ball contact technical foul there.
You're right on it, Gene. Just as you were explaining that was the announcement that was made. So the officials, led by Kip Kissinger, and a dead ball contact technical, and Love will do the honors for North Carolina.
Gene, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
Right on it.
There.
In real time.
Right, real time, right there.
You got a veteran officiating crew. It's great to have Gene along with us as well. He never misses. Kip Kissinger, the referee in his 12th NCAA tournament. He's officiated a Final Four. These officials, they are advancing as well. They're being evaluated with each round, and it's an honor for them to continue on, just like the teams and the players in this NCAA tournament, all under the heading of J.D. Collins, who does such a terrific job. So it's North Carolina by 8. Get the tee and possession. And Brady Maycott knocks another one down. And Manick hits a big one.
And that time, Baylor, underneath out of bounds, chose to go to a zone, which made the pass to Manick a lot easier, able to step right in and knock it in.
Transfer from Oklahoma, Manick. He's playing in this tournament in the opening round about 3.5 hours from where he grew up outside Oklahoma City. As Sohan can't connect. There's Love with a rebound. North Carolina rolled Marquette in round 1, and they're off to a similar start here against Baylor. Love, no. Oh my goodness, Sohan and Akinjo are fighting for the ball.
Yeah.
And it ends up off of Sohan and Akinjo both, and it'll be North Carolina ball, unforced error.
Yeah, but this is where you got to communicate early. I mean, because Sohan is doing the right thing, but Akinjo is in place. Someone has to say, I got it right away. Again, the lost possessions early when things are not going right doesn't seem like it's a lot, but that's a rebound you got to have so you can get a possession in order to get a shot to cut into this lead. If not, North Carolina, as well as they're playing right now, will make you pay.
Baylor with 4 turnovers now. Good ball movement, and that's going to be an offensive foul as Matthew Meyer took the charge. So Love coming in hot. Meyer stood in there firm. North Carolina turns it over. It'll be Baylor ball. They are down 11 as we check in with Allie.
Well, Scott Drew was fired up in that last huddle. He said, guys, we have to be the aggressor. He said, do you understand me? And he looked all the starters in the eye. Then he said, we have to get on the offensive glass and get those offensive rebounds. And he said, third, we have 0 assists. Let's get the ball moving and put ourselves in a position to succeed. All
good points, and Dale Bonner is on the floor now for Baylor. 3-pointer missed in the corner from Flagler. Second chance, and throws it right away. Does Thamba. Here's Davis, had the hot hand early, and he stays that way.
Why not? I mean, Davis, it's funny how it transfers over in regards to one backcourt player getting hot. It was Love early last game against Marquette. Now it's Davis. And North Carolina doing excellent. This Baylor team is 7th nationally in offensive rebounding rate. They're not getting a lot of those opportunities, so excellent job by North Carolina to stick to the game plan.
Manick misses a 3. Bonner gets it ahead to Flagler. In transition, pull-up 3 on its way, comes up short. Thamba an offensive rebound. And now Baylor will get it organized. Leaky Black on Meyer, tough shot.
Wow.
Oh, rains one in from downtown. Matthew Meyer.
Yeah, don't get him started. I mean, because if he makes a couple, the basket then begins to get a little bit bigger, and he's able to knock out shots, and not just from 3. He has the capabilities also of putting the ball on the deck and attacking off the dribble as well.
That silences an 8-0 North Carolina run. Carolina up 11 with a ball here as we approach the halfway point of this first half. And Love on the attack. Oh, what a feed to Manick. Man, was that pretty.
Well, here's the thing. We're talking to Hubert Davis. It was this. With Caleb Love, it's not about 3-point shooting and scoring. When he does that, create opportunities for his teammates. They're 14-0 when he has 5 assists or more. So having him become more of a playmaker will also open up his offensive opportunities to be more effective.
Bonner knocks down a 3. Found himself open in the corner. First minutes on the floor for Dale Bonner, and he hits a 3-pointer. 10-point Carolina lead. Davis has had the hot hand, 11 first half points. Manick, and he is surrounded, almost lost the handle, and Meyer is called for the foul. With 9 to shoot, Meyer hit with the foul. Hey, a reminder, first round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship. It continues today on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN News. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Jeremy Sohan back on the floor. You see Dontrez Styles in his first minutes of the game as well. North Carolina got a very short rotation.
Yep.
They bring on Puff Johnson as well, his first minutes on the floor. Maycott, firm off the window, no. And that's going to be last touch by who? Officials look at each other. What do we have? and it's going to be Baylor ball.
Take a look here. Just right there on the call by the officials.
Let me throw this at you, Jim.
Talk to me.
Baylor Bears have won 7 straight NCAA tournament games. Until today, they had not even trailed since the semifinal game last year against the University of Houston in Indianapolis at the Final Four. They're in unfamiliar territory right now.
But, but as slow of a start that they've had, they're only down 10 points, okay? So you haven't shot the 3 well. You have an offensive rebound. You're giving up some opportunities, but yet and still, you're right in the balance with under 9 minutes to go. So you have some good possessions offensively, get some stop defensively, you're right back in the game.
Here's a Kenjo for 3. Missed it badly.
But not that one.
Didn't come out of the hand at all.
But I give Carolina credit because at the beginning of the game, they kind of pushed Baylor back on their heels. Okay, we're going to force you to have to play the way we want our tempo. You're going to have to guard us in multiple positions. And Baylor then with the slow start, now it's kind of lagging a little bit. So give a lot of credit to Carolina for their quick start.
Carolina spreads it out. Styles with Brown on him. Styles trying to get by, cannot, hounded. A lot of dribbling here, almost loses it, does lose it, turns it over.
A great defense by Flo Thamba, multiple defensive efforts right there to guard off the dribble and then get his hands on the ball to create a turnover.
Hubert Davis immediately calls on Leaky Black to re-enter this game.
Nice.
And
nice.
Sohan. Boy, he's got a lot of skills, this freshman.
Yep.
Big 12 Sixth Man of the Year. Outstanding defender, going to be a top 20 pick in the NBA draft. Nice lead. Baycott lays it in. Beautiful pass. Man, R.J. Davis is having a game here already.
Well, think about this North Carolina team had 29 assists on 34 made field goals against Marquette. And when you're able to empty the side out like that and have Baycott rolling to the rack, you got to deliver it on time and on target because he can finish it inside.
Brown. Nice move. Brown with a left hand. He scores it. Brown has been dealing with a non-COVID related illness. It's kind of set him back a little bit. Today's the best he's felt in the last 4 days. You could really see he was sluggish in round 1. That's going to be a foul. Akinjo gets Davis. Davis just making it happen. Timeout on the floor. Free throws for North Carolina and R.J. Davis when we come back. The Carolina Tar Heels not looking like an 8 seed. They're rolling right now. Well, 28-20, North Carolina with the lead. They have a couple of free throws coming moments ago. Allie LaForce had a chance to visit with Carolina head coach Hubert Davis.
Well, Coach, your team has assisted on almost every basket. Baylor has just 1 assist. How have you forced them into isolation basketball?
Well, from a defensive standpoint, we have to protect the paint. It's something that we talked about all day yesterday in our preparation for Baylor. They're so athletic and gifted that they can get to the rim anytime that they want to. And I think defensively, we're doing a good job in making it very difficult for them to get to the basket.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, UNC, 10 field goals, 9 assists, and 6 different Tar Heels with at least 1 assist, but also defensively. Again, this Baylor team loves to beat you off the dribble, and that's multiple passes, try to get 2 feet in, make you help, and then make a play. So the game plan is being well executed defensively by North Carolina on the perimeter.
Well, it just goes to show you, you never know in the NCAA tournament who's going to step up and deliver. R.J. Davis averages 13 points per game this year. He's a good assist man at 3.6 assists. But Davis, 1 out of 2 at the line, and he's got 12 here in this first half of this round 2 matchup. Baylor down 9 with the basketball. Kenjo hits the deck. We've seen a few players slip and fall.
Yeah.
Dale Bonner, he'll pull it, and Bonner will hit it. So he's hit a couple of shots. And a guy coming off the bench giving him a little bit of a lift here.
Yeah, sometimes you need that lift coming from your bench when your starters don't have it going. Cut back into this lead by North Carolina.
Davis finds Manick, kicks it back out. And here's Davis again. Back iron, Manick runs it down. Love inside. Baycott had position. stood in there firm with Flo Thamba on him, and Thamba picks up the foul. Well, you can get into the FBI's new CBS Tuesdays. 3 teams, 3 shows, 1 night of justice. The original FBI, the global sensation FBI International, and the twisted crimes of FBI Most Wanted. 8/7 Central on CBS. It's streaming on Paramount Plus. Baycott missed the dunk. And right there to follow is Leaky Black. So Thamba disrupted Baycott a bit, but Black was there to put it back.
Yeah, but it was too easy. That inbounds pass from underneath out of bounds should no way be able to get right to Baycott inside. Hence, the defense was compromised, giving up an offensive rebound.
Denied. That double comes. And Sohan with the ball, and that's going to be Baylor ball. So that was a kick by Carolina. Davis hounded quickly. So a little bit of a different matchup here for Baylor as Thamba converges with Akinjo. And yeah, there's the kick.
Yeah, right there.
And that'll put the ball back in the hands of the Bears.
Well, this North Carolina team is playing so what? Baylor, just the little miscommunications that they're having on the defensive end is benefiting North Carolina. You got to clean a little bit of that up in order to be able to get the kind of stops you need to get against this Carolina team.
Matthew Meyer back on the floor with 2 fouls. Sohan gives it up. Flagler back on the floor as well. He'll go. Thamba cleared some space for him, and Flagler with the layup.
Yeah, but tricky right there. And he was able to negotiate his way with the dribble and be patient, put Davis on his back pocket, and get down the lane and finish that for 2.
Manick posting up, got the mismatch, needed help. Thamba comes late, Manick can't hit though. Baylor on the move. And Meyer lost his dribble. Here goes Bonner, Sohan in the corner. No. And Leaky Black, it was Baycott and Black that kept that alive, making sure Baylor did not secure that offensive rebound. They've done a good job, Carolina, in that category. Baycott off balance. Akinjo getting his first breather. That backcourt of Bonner and Flagler now. Flagler dealing with a sore left knee. You can see the wrap he has on it. They've got to be careful with his minutes. Probing, long 2. Thamba back tap. Another 20, and Meyer saves it, but right into the hands of Davis. Davis taking on Bonner, and a block. Free throws coming for R.J. Davis. His fingerprints all over this first half in this round 2 matchup.
Yeah, and sometimes the hustle that we saw from Meyer right there doesn't benefit you because he lost control of the ball, kind of took his eyes off of it. Then when he saved it right here, he saves it right into the hands of R.J. Davis, who did the smart thing. He attacked immediately off the dribble, and Bonner tried to get in position to get his feet set to take the charge, but unlikely outcome on that one.
R.J. Davis knocks the first one down. Back on the floor comes Kendall Brown as Thamba will sit. R.J. Davis, his dad Robert, he was a scorer, over 2,000 points at Mercy College. Davis not necessarily a high volume scorer. Matter of fact, had just 2 made threes in his last 3 games combined. And Davis here today already, he's made 3 threes, and he's got 14 first half points. Carolina 6 for 8 from the line. Baylor has not been to the charity stripe as Bonner lets a 3 loose, and Black clears. Manick inside. Oh, Meyer hits the deck hard. He's going to pick up his 3rd foul, and Meyer will head to the bench. Foul was on the floor. North Carolina active, and a scary fall here for Matthew Meyer. Yikes. Also, Jimmy and I looking forward to our invites to Augusta National at some point. We'll be right here if you need us.
Yeah, you can anytime you want. I'll give you the address. Send it out.
Just take a couple days off.
Yeah,
no problem.
No problem. Wait, maybe we just need to get in with Jim Nance a little bit.
Yes.
Get the word in for us.
You got his number? Brady Manick knocks down the free throw.
I know people.
Meyer is on the bench with his third foul. That's a story for Baylor.
Yeah.
Baylor a little bit deeper, but they have suffered a number of injuries throughout the year, specifically to one of their outstanding players, Jonathan Chama.
Yes.
And he was a big part of their national championship team. The junior from Cameroon, a season-ending knee injury February 12th, and a big loss for the Bears. Carolina up 11, Baylor with the ball. Akinjo's had a quiet start. Meyer in foul trouble. 6 to shoot now. Leaky Black, Carolina's top defender on Akinjo. He kicks it, and Brown misses. And Styles flying high for the rebound. You can see Hubert Davis, Jim, with a little bit of a cushion here in the first half. He's getting some rotation pieces in. You get to the second half, though, they call them the Iron Five for a reason with Carolina. Their 5 starters are used to playing extended minutes. Matter of fact, all 5 of their starters played the entire second half in that win over Duke. Three-pointer no good. There's Brown with a rebound.
But Hubert Davis is doing an excellent job in kind of stealing some minutes in order for these guys to get a little break with the TV timeouts himself, and how they're playing in regards to controlling the tempo of this game.
Akinjo, Manick on him. He gives it up. Here goes Flagler, and that's going to be a foul. Leaky Black. That freedom of movement emphasis this year. You see the bench points. So, I mean, they're down bottom third. North Carolina just gets very little production from their bench. Just spot minutes to give their starters a breather. Baylor, much more significant contributions off the bench. Baylor is without L.J. Cryer as well for the weekend. He's been out since mid-February. It's a big loss for them, the sophomore. So Chama and Cryer. Baylor's rotation shortened up as well. Another Baylor turnover.
Yep. Great defense, help side defense, forcing Flagler right to the baseline.
Baycott takes Sohan on the post. No. Sohan is hung in there well against Baycott. That looks to be a matchup that Hubert Davis wants to look at, and it has not worked very well as Flagler gets to the middle and scores.
Yeah, and that may be a way for Baylor, too, to attack this North Carolina pressure early. Yeah, of course, securing the rebound, pushing it up quickly. Those gaps may be open a lot earlier for Flagler and the rest of the backcourt to get inside.
Baycott gets it deep and now scores it with the right hand. That's a spot right there. And Baycott able to put one in to put Carolina up 11. Baycott now with 7. Styles in for the help. 16 to shoot for Baylor.
Well, Baycott, too, did his work early. Brian, he sprinted down the court, got low position inside, so it was an easy pass, and all he had to do was spin to the baseline and kind of go to work. So, excellent job of sprinting the court.
Baycott with a double-double against Marquette, 17 and 10. Did a lot of that work in the second half. He and Brady Manick were excellent in the second half in a blowout win over Marquette. Flagler has to take a tough shot over Davis. There's a theme developing here with Baylor. I mean, they're being forced into some difficult shots.
Well, they are. Look, listen, they had 24 assists in the last game. They only have 2 right now. So you got to give a lot of credit to the North Carolina defense for not allowing them to get those open looks off the dribble penetration.
Davis again.
Wow.
And another one is good. R.J. Davis has 17 first half points. His 4th made 3. More lightning in a bottle for Carolina. Their biggest lead, 14 points. Now Brown spins and he draws the foul on Brady Manick.
Well, you think about this. R.J. Davis was 1 for 5 from behind the three-point line against Marquette. But, as you know, Brian, when you see the ball go in early and often, now the confidence is there, and R.J. Davis hasn't let his foot off the gas pedal as of yet.
Hey, coming up, AT&T at the half, scores and highlights, the latest NCAA tournament news. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. E.J. Kenny, Wally, and Clark Kellogg standing by. And it stays for Baylor. Just been a frustrating first half for the reigning national champions. Kendall Brown, part of that all Big 12 freshman team, averaging nearly 10 a game. Another guy that will be headed for the pros. 1 out of 2. Shot clock is off. In transition, Styles hangs and finishes. Boy, a strong acrobatic finish by the freshman Dontrez Styles. He's given him good minutes in this first half. Akinjo, they got to get him going if you're Baylor, and that's going to be last touch by a Tar Heel. That'll be Baylor ball with 1.2 left.
Classic way you work in practice to attack pressure. Throw it over the defense, then make a play. In North Carolina, everything they're doing offensively, attacking the pressure of Baylor's defense, has been on point. Give a lot of credit to these young men for understanding what the scouting report was and game plan and sticking to it, as it's paying huge dividends here in the first half.
Just checking the clock here, and 1.9 for this final possession. Akinjo puts it in. Sohan, he is fouled, and in and out it goes. Sohan will go to the line, though. Good play on the out of bounds. Baylor a chance to grab a couple of points before we head to the halftime locker room. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. North Carolina had a 28-point lead going into the half against Marquette. And they are continuing their terrific offense, and a lot of it starting from their excellent defense. Not sure what Hubert Davis. I think Hubert Davis may be checking on who they gave the foul to.
Yeah.
Sohan knocks down 2. 13-point North Carolina lead as we go to the half, and the R.J. Davis show in this first half. 17 first half points for Davis, 4 made 3-pointers, and the Carolina Tar Heels up 13 in this second round matchup as we send it to Allie LaForce.
Well, Coach, you've been battle tested early. What happened and how do you close this gap?
Well, first they did a good job on the glass. They did a good job getting 50-50 balls. They did a good job in transition. We picked up our intensity. We got to get better shots, and I think we're going to have a much better second half.
Thank you, Coach.
You see this, last 3 games, 2 for 15. Today, 4 for 6.
Well, his career high is 26, but only 4 times has he scored 20 or more points. How about this note right here? 44-0, the Carolina Tar Heels, their all-time record in the NCAA tournament when they have a double-digit halftime lead, and they've got the defending national champions down 13 at the half. Carolina basketball. R.J. Davis, last time he had a game like this was at Duke on March 5th, that thrilling Carolina win in Coach K's final game. And the Bears immediately pick up a foul. So Baylor in a little bit of foul trouble in that first half, specifically with Matthew Meyer, a guy who can stretch the floor. He picked up 3 fouls. He starts in the lineup, and Manick finds himself wide open. Flagler clears it down. Akinjo had a very quiet first half. Bears need him to be their best player on the floor. Akinjo, the Big 12 leader in assists and steals, and he puts up the first one and he misses again, and that's going to be a foul. Kendall Brown out of position. He fouls Manick.
Well, but Carolina is doing an excellent job of closing the gap, not allowing James Akinjo to be able to get his foot and shoulder by them, to be able to get deep penetration. They're closing the gaps. They're forcing him to take some tough shots and get off the basketball.
Akinjo with Thomas surrounding Davis, and a timeout is called. Carolina gets the timeout.
A little trapping defense. You're going to see the pressure ratchet up a little bit more, I would think, from Baylor here in the second half.
One of college basketball's blue bloods, North Carolina. Championship history dating back to 1957. Took down Will Chamberlain and Kansas. There's MJ and Worthy. Dean Smith cutting down the nets in '93, the first 3 titles, and then the Roy Williams era. 3 championships, 05, 09, and then once again in 2017. North Carolina Tar Heels. They might be an 8 seed, Jim, but they come into this tournament hot, and they are still North Carolina. Caleb Love with Flagler on him. 4 to shoot now. Davis has Brown on him. Long 3 on its way as an air ball. And a shot clock violation. So Hubert Davis got the timeout.
Yeah.
That possession didn't go the way the Heels wanted it to.
No, but that time Baylor forced North Carolina a little further out on the court coming out of that timeout. Hence, Davis was forced to take, 25-footer at the end of the shot clock.
Akinjo gets to the basket, and that goes. Manic might have got a hand on it. It goes anyway. And Akinjo, his first points of this second half. He's got 6 now. And will that be the fuse that lights for the Baylor Bears? Davis drawing a lot more attention in this second half. Here's Love. Thama's out on him. Mismatch they want inside Baycott. 2 surrounded. He missed the bunny.
Yeah, Brown, good defense, good recovery. Got switched down low, but able to contest that shot.
And Brown for 3. Comes up short. To follow Meyer. No. Meyer thought he was touched going in.
Got numbers to Carolina.
Steps in for a 2, and R.J. Davis keeps it cooking. He's got 19 now. North Carolina had runs of 9-0, 8-0, and 9-2 in that first half. Baylor, Jimmy, just couldn't get on a run. Their biggest run was 5-0, and they started with the first 4 points of the game. Tough to come back when you can't get on a scoring run, as Brown is fouled on his way in.
Well, but Kenny Smith made 2 great points at halftime. He said, 1, Carolina is able to take good shots compared to Baylor taking tough shots. And we saw a good shot right there in transition by R.J. Davis. Then the other point he made was that the matchup with Leaky Black on Matthew Meyer, not allowing him to get off early.
You can watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code to download. Kendall Brown at the line. Let's check in with Allie. She's got more.
Well, Brown told me before he committed, Coach told him exactly what it was going to take, and he said it's great to put in the work and see that come to fruition, but he does remember watching the national championship game last year on television and thinking, can I compete at this level? Sohan told me the same thing. It was 4 a.m. in Germany, and they both looked at me and said, we didn't know it was so physical, so intimidating, and so it's being tested right now on live TV, guys.
Allie, Kendall Brown's been dealing with an illness. What are you hearing?
Well, he told me yesterday it was the best that he has felt in 4 days. He said it definitely took the wind out of him. He felt a little bit weak over the last few days. He didn't practice fully on Wednesday. Thursday, he put on a good face for game day, but this is the best he's feeling. Still not 100% though.
Yeah, Allie, you know by playing too how it affects your win, your energy level, your second and third efforts. It takes you longer to recover as well.
Manic hits a 3.
But that's the second time underneath out of bounds that Carolina was able to get a free look at Manic. That's an easy pass right outside, and no one was around, and Manic made him pay.
Flagler answers with a 3. Shots are falling here. Flagler playing on that bum knee. He's got 9 now. Manic, remember, scored 28 against Marquette, had 11 rebounds, had a 20-point double-double against Duke in that March 5th game. Here's Love, and no, he missed it badly. He's having a tough shooting game. He's now 1 for 5, 1 for 4 from 3. Akinjo goes right by him, denied by Baycott. Now the Heels in transition. Davis, little hesitation, leads it Baycott, and Thamba fouls him from behind. Boy, Baycott, a presence inside, the denial.
Well, yeah, but the multiple effort, able to get off and slip off of Flo Thamba and get a clean block on James Akinjo. But then He got on his high horse and sprinted the court and was able to pick up the foul and get himself to the free throw line. And that's the multiple efforts that coaches always talk about. On one end, I want to see you play defense, but then run down.
So Baycott at the line. A couple of free throws. North Carolina leads it by 12. Their halftime lead was 13. 3.5 into this second half. Good chance to take a power pause presented by Powerade. Back to Allie.
Well, North Carolina might have won 13 of its last 16 games coming into the tournament, but it didn't always look that pretty. In fact, there was a time where they lost 2 back-to-back games to Miami and Wake Forest, both by 20-plus points. And I talked to Baycott exactly about that. He said, listen, as a team, we struggled trusting each other defensively and offensively. We weren't together on a rotation. So after Wake Forest, they got back to Chapel Hill after midnight. The team sat in the locker room for hours. They didn't leave until their communication woes were resolved. They said, if we want to be special, we have to lock it in together. And the last month, it's been all about trust, guys.
I love it. And that's accountability taken on by the players and not just the coaching staff. And when you have that accountability amongst your teammates, things can change quickly, and we see that proving so with North Carolina.
Talk to Hubert Davis. Everybody wants to talk about that Duke win as Manick is fouled by Meyer. He'll pick up his 4th foul. So Meyer has 4, Thamba has 3, and the Bears are in big trouble here in Fort Worth, Texas. The Bears right now 5 fouls as we're 4.5 almost into this second half. They're racking up the fouls. Meyer has 4. Thamba's going to stay on the floor with 3.
Yeah, one has to stay in the game, and Thamba is the one that maybe can help secure a little bit more, you know, from a defensive perspective. And I think with Meyer too, the foul trouble has affected, along with Leaky Black and the defense, his offense. As far as the lack of production thus far.
So Manick, who had that huge second half against Marquette, able to extend it to 49-35. Manick with 13 now, and here's Akinjo, and he can't buy one. Offensive rebound, set up Akinjo again. That was Brown with a board, and Akinjo knocks down to 3.
Yeah, 2 clean looks. Akinjo able to finally get it in there, but excellent recognition off the offensive rebound by Brown to get it to Akinjo quickly.
Akinjo's first made 3 of the game. He's got 9 now. Manick guarded by Sohan, and that's knocked out of bounds. That'll be North Carolina ball with 13 to shoot. Nice play, Thamba.
Well, they'll pick and roll, got a clean look, but there's Brown, because North Carolina defense was scrambling, able to get an offensive rebound. And that's, you know, one of the keys for Baylor all year has been their ability, not only the offensive rebound, but to convert those into points.
7 offensive rebounds for Baylor. They're +3 in that category over Carolina. And that's going to be a foul out on the perimeter. Brown picks up the 6th team foul for Baylor at the 15-11 mark. Yeah. You saw Scott Drew point to his head. We got to be smart.
Yeah, but also, too, I think he's probably a little upset that they're calling it so close. It was a little bump, but not, I don't think, enough to warrant it for a foul in that situation. I think that's where his frustration is at as well.
And an offensive foul. Man, that was risky.
Whoa.
Flo Thamba sitting there with 3 fouls. And the offensive foul is called. Baylor with the ball.
Well, you trust that Thamba will make the right decisions, and he did. By putting his foot close to the sideline, there's no way that Caleb Love was going to be able to get around him, and he squared right up and took him. Like you said, it was risky, but it did pay off in that instance.
Love now has 3 fouls. He's defending Akinjo. It goes right by him, but Baycott there to deny. Love's been quiet. 21 first half points against Marquette. Went for 23 in the game. Manick. 10 to shoot now for Carolina. In the corner, Davis. Oh, Davis! A heat check. And the temperature's still up. Akinjo gets Love in the air. Turns it over. Davis, he thought about it and he walked with it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm saying, why not? R.J. Davis, he's made 5 threes.
But this is just, I mean, it's good defense here by Baylor. You're able to string R.J. Davis out to the corner. But sometimes when you got it going and you're hot, it doesn't matter where you shoot it from. You got nothing but bottoms on that, but he overthought the situation there in transition. He probably should have just let it go.
Carolina fans will tell you the key to their team is Caleb Love and R.J. Davis.
Right.
One has to go off. If both go off, they're almost unbeatable. You know what you're going to get from Manick and Baycott. 3-pointer no good. Sohan keeps it alive, and it's into the hands of Manick. And that's going to be a foul on Baylor. Sohan raises his hand. And the 7th foul at the 13:53 mark. Carolina is going to be in the bonus the rest of this game.
Yeah, a lot of fouls being out of position by Baylor. A lot of fouls on the reaching side, benefiting North Carolina now, who's a 77% free throw shooting team.
Carrie and Tina, parents of Brady Manick. Hey, Star Trek Picard is back. The highly anticipated new season is now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. Head to ParamountPlus.com to try it free. North Carolina, Jim, to your point, best free throw percentage in the ACC at 77%. They're going to be on the line quite a bit. Here's Brown for 3. Calmly laces it. No. And one and done into the hands of Davis. And in transition, Brady Manick running the floor. And Scott Drew wants to talk it over. The hottest team coming into this tournament, North Carolina. They've remained that way in the madness.
Tar Heels are rolling, and there's a couple reasons why. Just falling asleep by Baylor. You don't see this often. Underneath out of bounds, there's been 3 occasions where North Carolina has just had free looks. I mean, that's just too easy. Even on the 2nd and 3rd effort, Carolina able to tip it in, and then another open opportunity by Manick. This is not the Baylor defense that we're accustomed to seeing. Here's North Carolina taking advantage of not just the offensive situations, but special situations they're able to capitalize on.
Well, Baylor, the defending national champs, the target on their backs, been one of the winningest programs in the last few years. They are in trouble here. A lot of basketball to play. They need to make some of these, and Brown comes up short again. Brown having a rough shooting game. That's his 4th consecutive miss from beyond the arc. Baylor jumped out to a 4-0 lead. It has been all North Carolina since. They've got a chance to go up 20, possibly 21 here with this possession. They've knocked down 8 threes. This is a little floater and a foul. So Davis going to the hole that time. And the foul's going to be on Dale Bonner, who just checked back in. And it'll be Davis at the line. So if you're Scott Drew right now, Jimmy, what's the way back in your mind? They're in some foul trouble here.
Yeah, and that's the issue, is that defensively you have to get stops first and foremost, okay? And offensively, they're getting shots. They're getting open shots, but they're not able to capitalize off of it. Can you get yourself to the free throw line? Can you create opportunities off of your defense to maybe get out and run, get some easier layups versus this North Carolina defense, and then start to flow? But it's going to start on the defensive end first and foremost.
Kendall Brown heads to the bench. Brown just 2 of 7, scored just 6 points. He's got a couple of fouls. Baylor already with 8 fouls, and R.J. Davis continues his terrific round 2 performance.
And see, Scott Drew is going with a 3-guard offense to try to get some momentum going. Maybe some dribble penetration with Bonner, Flagler, and also James Akinjo.
Davis deflected that one out of bounds. Jeremy Sohan running with Bonner. Bonner was supposed to be a development player this year. Bonner transferring from D2 Fairmont State. Not only into the rotation, he started a couple of games, and he's going to have to play a big role in this one as Akinjo misses a 3. Sohan the offensive board. Sohan had it denied by Baycott, and Baycott rips it out of the hands of Thama. That is North Carolina ball.
You know, part of being an outstanding defensive player is positioning, to be there when needed. And Baycott seems to be in the right place at the right time in order to influence and not always block the shot, but be an influencer inside. And that's just excellent positioning defensively by Baycott.
Tell you, Baylor fortunate they didn't pin the fourth foul on Thamba. Wow. And Manick sticks it on the other end.
You see how quick that stroke was? I mean,
like a flash.
It was in his hands and it was up and out, and that was good defense to contest the shot, but better offense that time by getting it off quickly.
Manick's on fire now. Sohan, tough shot. No, and Thamba is going to pick up the offensive foul. Manick comes up with a primal scream. He's got 11 in the half and now 20 for the game, the transfer from Oklahoma.
Well, when you got a quick trigger like this, he's open underneath. It's okay. I don't get the 2, I'll take the 3. And that's a great closeout by Sohan too as well. But North Carolina right now, offense is just rolling.
As soon as this one is over here on CBS, Brady Manick, Allie LaForce is having some run. He's at 20 points now, 11 in the half. And he's feeling right at home here in Fort Worth, Texas, isn't he?
He is. He also had 40 family members and friends at the game on Thursday. He said there's only been 5 games in his entire career that he hasn't had family at the game, so he likes performing in front of them, but Coach couldn't have higher praise for him. He said not only is he the best player, he's the best guy on the team. And 12 months ago, Coach didn't even know him. He said, we just work together really well. And I told him when I recruited him, we need you. Also, he has a black eye, and I asked him, wow, you're really getting banged up out there. He said, oh, no, that was from Wednesday's practice.
Hey, Allie, you're a basketball savant. Is it me, or does Manick have that 78, 79 Portland Trailblazers, Bill Walton?
No question. No question. He also said he thinks in his mind that he's always open. So that's the mentality of that team as well. The hair is flowing.
I love it.
You know, he lost his headband on Thursday. He told me, no worries. I have about 7 or 8 of them in my book bag for backup.
Oh, he's got that quick release, and we're seeing it today. Baylor basket on the other end stopped a 13-0 run. Love almost walked. Sohan right on him, and there's Manick again. And how about 13 second half points? Now 22 for the game. And Flagler lays it in for number 1 seed, the defending champs, and they are on the ropes right now as we hit the 11-minute mark remaining in this second half. Carolina, just like they did against Marquette, Jim, they've taken the spirit away from their opponent.
Well, methodically, they've done it. Okay, they came in with a game plan, stuck to it, and see Manick right there in the corner once again. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to watch from the perspective of how they're going about their business, okay, and how they're getting their shots defensively. They're locking in. It's not anything flashy, but it's strategical in how they came in with their game plan, and to see these young men execute. I know Hubert Davis and the coaching staff have to love that.
Look at this run, 18-4 now. Manick comes up short. It was right on line, though.
Heat check.
That's up and over the 6'9" Meyer. Meyer, little sidestep, 3-pointer on its way, and around and out, and that's the way it's been going for the Bears. As Sohan hits the deck, they're going to take a look. And Sohan, I feel like a contact just dropped out of his eyes.
Oh, Manick.
What a release.
It is just, it's a beautiful thing to watch when a team is operating at a high level, when the ball is just hopping around. Guys get open. Again, passing is a premium, and I say that all the time because the passes have been right in the shooting pocket for the shooters for North Carolina.
So they called the foul on Manick here, and that's what they're looking at, the elbow to the face.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure as Sohan hit the ground, there's a contact lens that dropped out of his eyes. So officials will gather, take a look at this one. And again, it's not about whether it's incidental or part of the flow of the game. It's just about the contact, and if there is, it's a potential to be upgraded into a flagrant one, and that's why we have Gene Steratore. He'll explain it for us. What do you got on this, Gene?
For me, guys, as Manick's boxing out, the elbow lifts high, the contact is to the head neck area, and the contact of that elbow, or the motion of that elbow, is much faster than a normal reaction. That blow being delivered to the head neck area in that regard, I have that as a flagrant foul for those reasons.
Thank you, Gene. And another look at this. So, Jimmy, you got an explanation. Well, I haven't heard the call just yet.
Flagrant 2.
Flagrant 2.
Because of the excessive.
Interesting. Unnecessary and excessive.
Yes,
so
unnecessary. And
that's
what
going to be
it
a
is.
disqualification. So Manick is out, a flagrant 2. And Brady Manick ejected from this game. He'll exit with 26 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, and you hate to see that. One, that Sohan had to catch the blunt of that.
Yeah.
But, I don't think anything was intentional from Manick's perspective, but the act itself warranted by the officials because of how he threw that elbow back. And if you look at kind of what led up to it, kind of entanglement between the two, that has a little bit. What you got, Gene?
Yeah, you know what, Jim, on that play, I'm with you a little. Look, when you're boxing out and you're this big, you're going to get your arms up a little at times to box out. When you reach that high, though, and I think it was the speed of that elbow, he doesn't look back over his shoulder like he's seeking him. And I think once you get into, look, excessive is still flagrant one, but now you say excessive and severe, officials have to go ahead and use some judgment in their interpretation of severity. And in that case, because of the severity on their judgment, they deem that to be flagrant 2, and it's an ejection, as you said.
No, and thank you, Gene. And imagine if this was a closer game right now. That would be something. As Flagler lays it in. I mean, that would be major controversy. Not that the Bears can't get on a run here. There's a lot of basketball to be played.
A lot.
But Carolina just losing one of their stars. And now Meyer runs it down, gets a steal. Good hustle.
And you just said it, B.A., that, Carolina can't slack up because this Baylor team is very capable of putting points in bunches together.
Styles with a defensive play, but he's called for the foul. Whistle's going against Carolina now. Styles onto the floor for Manick, the freshman from North Carolina. Playing for his hometown team, from the same hometown as Jerry Stackhouse and Reggie Bullock. And he's getting some extended minutes and figures to do so in this second half of this round 2 matchup.
Man, the question is, can Baylor, in the next 4 to 5 minutes, get this lead down?
That helps.
Yep. Get this lead down to 10 points or less. So now the dynamic in the last 5 minutes changes from Carolina area.
Oh, another
great
steal.
Defense.
Akinjo to Flagler, 3-pointer is good, and the Bears have some life. Oh, and that disqualification on a flagrant 2 is a marker on that. It's a 9-0 Baylor run. The lead still 16 for UNC. Hubert Davis telling him to get in their action. 7 to shoot. Here's Styles, the freshman, gives it up. Davis has had the hot hand all day. Davis trying to get by Sohan. He dribbles it out. Shot clock violation. And all of a sudden, the Carolina Tar Heels are a little discombobulated.
Well, they are, but the activity by the Baylor Bears has allowed the defense to create offense, and now they're feeling a little bit better about themselves. They're better in the flow. Let's see if they can capitalize on this offensive possession as well.
Akinjo finds Bonner, 3-pointer on its way, no good. And bodies on the ground, Sohan and Baycott, and now that's going to be a foul. Double foul, Baycott and Sohan. Feet tangled up.
You know what's interesting, talking to Hubert Davis, and you see a lot of this contact and the toughness of Carolina. He said the perception of our team was that we were a country club team. So when Caleb Love and Daryl Morcell kind of got into it and the tempers were flaring, he loved every bit of it.
Got double foul here, Sohan and Baycott. We'll take a break. let's do some housekeeping here. The officials, Jimmy, called a double foul on Baycott and Sohan. Then they went to the monitor during that timeout, and a dead ball contact technical foul called on Baycott. So Baycott picks up 2 fouls there. And let's again bring in Gene Sterator.
Yeah, what I've got here too, Brian and Jimmy, is during the box out with Baycott and Sohan, you've got Baycott reaching around the box out, and he's restricting Sohan from his front as he's boxing him out. Sohan pulls Baycott down with him. That's where the double foul occurs. Now you have a dead ball situation with the whistle blown, and as Sohan is getting up and Baycott swings that left leg around, and in their opinion, and I agree with them, he intentionally throws that leg into Sohan's back, which is the flagrant 1 foul. Now I'll say this moving forward. This intensity is escalating now. Officials need to be focused. You don't call small change fouls, but you've got to make yourself present in this game verbally and with the whistle if necessary to get this game back into that type of control and let these players finish this game without any more extracurricular.
That's great stuff, Gene, and something to watch as Sohan misses a 3. Akinjo, he ran it down but off his leg and out of bounds, and it'll be North Carolina ball. So Baycott has 4 fouls now after picking up those 2. And North Carolina with the basketball as we check in with Allie.
Well, Baycott has been frustrated all game with Sohan's antics, and in the last huddle his teammates were telling him, do not let him get in your head. Coach sat down the entire team and said, calm down. We have to be better defensively. He pointed at Davis too and said, specifically you, get to your spots, 2 hands up, not 1.
And playing with 4 fouls as well, Allie, thank you. Had 2 dead ball contact technical fouls and a flagrant 2, which resulted in the ejection of Brady Manick of North Carolina. Baylor on an 11-0 run since. Bullet pass inside. Wow. Styles scores it just before the shot clock expired. Yeah. Leaky Black with a nice dime.
Beautiful dime that time by Black to get Styles inside. And again, the convergence on the defensive end of Carolina never allowed Akinjo to get a clean look at it.
Another great defensive play by Styles. He's given him something here. The freshman in for Manick. Remember, North Carolina, they have a very tight rotation. Their starters play heavy minutes, oftentimes 40 minutes. And now Meyer, and that's going to be over and back. Love turns it over. Meyer dangerously close to a foul there. Remember, he's playing with 4.
And if you're Caleb Love, you have to be aware of your surroundings and understanding where you're at on the court. And that time, easy trap and situation for Baylor to get that over and back call.
Akinjo gets by Love and a whistle on the floor, I believe. And I think, as Gene predicted, you were starting to see some of these calls made trying to restore order here. It is getting very chippy. And Akinjo to the line. Carolina had a 25-point lead at the time of the Brady Manick ejection. And now Akinjo at the line with the Bears down 16. They'll get one more as Baycott Sohan go to the floor again. Hey, join the mania in the BR app. Rep your team, drop your takes, get buzzer-beating alerts and more all in one place. Scan the code now to download the Bleacher Report app. Never miss a minute of March. Sohan again getting tangled up with Baycott.
My man been on the ground a lot in this game.
Giving up some size. Notice they flipped sides that time to keep them away from each other.
Yeah, a little pressure up front right now by Baylor. But Gene is right that the officials are probably going to call this a little bit closer as we come down the stretch, especially some of the contact touch fouls. So you got to be careful on both sides how active you are on defensive end.
R.J. Davis, and now the double comes. Davis able to dribble out of it. Davis in a scramble, leaves it underneath Styles, got caught under the basket, got it back and lays it in. What a play! Dontrez Styles rescues one for the Heels. Flagler, nice move, in it goes, and one. Adam Flagler, a chance at a three-point play.
Well, watch the defense here. Sohan right here with the good block. He takes off, but then Styles able to slap it away. Flagler, a little up and under here, a little pump fake. Great footwork off the glass.
Flagler having a terrific round 2 performance. And his first free throw of the game gives him 22 points. Flagler with 16 here in this second half. 6.5 to go. The top-seeded Baylor Bears, the 4th overall #1 seed, representing the East region and the defending champs. And they are down 13. Carolina pushed that lead to 25. Davis and Love in the backcourt. Love on the drive. That's a whistle. And it's going the other way. An offensive foul.
Well, I mean, the old adage that that's 5 fouls. Is that 5?
Yes. Love is out, a DQ.
Well, I mean, the old adage in boxing is that you have to beat the champ, right? And the Baylor Bears are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, North Carolina is going to have to hunker in this last 6 minutes, knowing that the onslaught from Baylor is just going to come at them fast and with a fury. And Puff Johnson is in the game to add some length.
Deeper into the bench they go. Here's Flagler again. Oh, Flagler high off the window. The comeback continues. Baylor down 11. North Carolina with the ball. And they're minus Love, and they are minus Manick. 2 of their starters gone. Puff Johnson and Dontrez Styles stepping into the spotlight here for Carolina, just hounding the ball. And now Leaky Black gives it up. Davis open for 3. It's on its way and no good. Flying high for the board. And a scramble for it. Somebody's out of bounds. That's going to be Baylor ball.
Have you noticed this too, is that North Carolina, they're operating their offense a lot further away from the basket. Now credit Baylor for the trapping defense.
Ooh.
And let's see right here.
Last touch by Akinjo, Jimmy.
Well,
he was standing out of bounds when he touched the basketball.
Yeah.
They got a break.
Yeah.
Not something you review until you get under 2 minutes of regulation and OT. 5.5 to go. Akinjo can't get by Davis. Sohan.
Smart.
And he's fouled. Sohan gets to the left. And free throws coming for the freshman Jeremy Sohan.
We'll take another look. This is what we're talking about right here.
And he's standing out of bounds.
Does he touch it? Is his hand on the ball? Is it on the floor? You see what I'm saying? I think that's maybe why the official didn't call it, because he didn't maybe get contact with the ball. But smart play on this end by Sohan. Instead of settling for the jump shot, he saw the long closeout by Baycott, and he put it right immediately on the deck to get inside and force a foul situation to get to the free throw line. So very smart play that time.
Sohan calmly knocks him down. And now the Bears are within single digits. This is a 20-4 run. Timeout. Black couldn't get the ball in bounds. Carolina wants to talk it over. And they're up and loud here in Fort Worth. Drives of the game presented by Nissan, and this guy right here has been a big part of it, Jimmy. Adam Flagler.
Yeah, no, 10 for 17, 24 points and a big-time basket and drive that time. Again, that championship pedigree starting to peak out right now for Baylor. There's no quit in this team, and again, North Carolina has to match that same energy. They can't be tentative right now, which they've been in the last 3 or 4 minutes offensively.
All non-shooting fouls the rest of the way here. Going to result in 2 free throws for both teams. Been a very physical game. 5:22 remaining. North Carolina had a 25-point lead. Baylor's been on a 24 run. Brady Manick was ejected with the heels up 25. Black having a hard time getting it in, and 5-second violation. Leaky Black could not get the ball in bounds. Baylor basketball.
Yeah, but also, too, the players from North Carolina, you got to make yourself available. You got to come to the basketball. Now, you don't want to get buried on the baseline or in the corner, but you got to make those cuts harder in order to get the ball in bounds.
Three-pointer, Flagler, no. Back iron. And Bonner, and that's going to be Baylor ball. Bonner and Stiles going for the loose ball. Stiles touched it last. They're that close.
Yep.
Flagler with Leaky Black on him, their top defender. Now Akinjo trying to get by Davis. He just cannot get by R.J. Davis. That's been a theme all game. Sohan on Baycott, got him grounded. No. And Baycott muscles that rebound down.
And that straight individual defense first by Davis and then by Baycott to be able to guard off the dribble.
Oh, Flagler hits the deck. That's an offensive foul. And Baycott picks up the foul. Man, Flagler hit the deck hard.
No, he hit it hard, too. I mean, you got a lot of nerve. You step right in with Baycott bearing down on you. That's 240-plus pounds. But at the time, you sacrifice one of the most unselfish plays in basketball to give yourself up for an offensive foul.
So the fourth foul on Baycott. Foul trouble is a story here. So Baycott will sit. Probably won't be there long.
No.
And Justin McCoy will enter. Look at this lineup here for North Carolina. These are players that aren't familiar with being in positions like this. McCoy and Johnson and Stiles. And Akinjo goes. He can't score it. Black is there for the rebound. And Black throws it off of Sohan. Baylor ratcheting up the defensive pressure.
Well, you got to get open in these situations. Now, if you're Baylor, you want to funnel North Carolina players either under the basket or to the corner to get a really good trap.
Get it into the hands of the point guard. 20-4 run. Carolina trying to hang on. Here's Puff Johnson and an easy layup. Got free under the basket, his first bucket of the game. Carolina finally scores. Their lead is 11. And that's going to be a foul on Black out on the perimeter.
Well, when you're able to attack the pressure and then beat it, you're going to have an advantage on the backside. And Matthew Meyer late to the rotation. Excellent pass that time by Davis, but excellent patience by North Carolina to finally crack through the press of Baylor.
Meyer playing with those 4 fouls as well. 2 at the line here for Flagler. 2 for 2 now. Flagler with 25. Akinjo's got 13. Sohan off the bench with 9. He's knocked out all 3 free throws. Flagler with 26 points, 20 and a half. Full court pressure comes. And Carolina able to get out of it. And now Davis will get it set up with Sohan on him. We approach the 4-minute mark in regulation. Carolina by 9 with the ball. Black passes it up, reset, 10 to shoot. Davis. Oh, he shows it, and it's denied by Akinjo. Akinjo comes out of the pack. Gives it up. Flagler, the hot hand, 3-pointer, no. Johnson the rebound.
Wow, great look in transition, and Johnson with the great block out inside.
Be a kick ball. And that'll send us to a timeout. Catch your breath, 3:36 to go. The Heels trying to hang on and take out the defending national champions. Bannock ejected at the 10:08 mark. A flagrant 2 after the officials went to review a controversial call. It was a 25-point lead at that time, Jimmy. Baylor has come roaring back.
Well, they have, but they've also forced North Carolina into 10 second half turnover, so a little bit more tentative, but the pressure has been applied a little bit more by Baylor. Still in the game. Again, a lot harder to close out games when you have something on the line like Baylor right now. And again, the pressure is back up. North Carolina did an excellent job last time of breaking the pressure. See if they can duplicate that now.
Styles and Puff Johnson have scored the last 6 points, and Bonner got a hand on that. It's a steal. Another Carolina turnover. Meyer, yes! Matthew Meyer for 3. The Bears are alive. 2-possession game now. Black stuck in the corner. He's in trouble. And Sohan able to save it. Another turnover for Carolina. Boy, this is falling apart for the Heels right now. Meyer, hot hand? No, comes up short.
Well, I mean, but the decision making, you can't take the ball to the corner if you're Leaky Black. You're going to keep it in the middle of the court or get off of it. That's an easy trap situation for Baylor.
Carolina, all year long, the highs very high, the lows very low, and their fans are experiencing this in a single game here in the NCAA tournament. But they do lead. They're up 6. Just 2 points in the last 4 minutes and change. 2 to shoot, got to get one up. And a foul. Akinjo fouls Davis on a 3-point try as the shot clock was expiring.
Yeah, now the contact, as you see at the end of this play, because watch Akinjo as he's rotating over. Right there. And that arm is what the official is called. Let's see if he pushes. But it goes back to this. We said this. Was that really a contact foul? Not really, but the officials changed how they began to call calls when we had a little bit of the skirmishes. So they called it a lot tighter. And on that play right there, normally it probably wouldn't be called.
Yeah. That's a huge call.
Yes, it is.
That's a huge moment. And now 3 free throws here for Davis as he knocks down the first. Excellent free throw shooter. Carolina, the top free throw shooting team in the ACC. They've been in the bonus here for 15 minutes. Baycott returns to the floor with those 4 fouls. Thamba and Meyer for Baylor have been able to survive with 4 fouls a good chunk of this second half.
You know, Brian, also too, not to be overlooked, Caleb Love fouling out takes a ball handler off the court. A guy that can create. I know he offensively didn't have the same kind of game, but you're taking a ball handler, decision maker off the court by his foul trouble. So that had an effect, or is having an effect, on the North Carolina offense as well.
2.5 to go. Into the corner it goes. Bonner, yes, a 3-pointer is good. Dale Bonner sticks a 3. Answers the 3 free throws by Davis. 2-possession game. On the drive, Black again gets stuck down on the baseline in the corner, able to throw that one off of Meyer.
You know, you can't keep putting yourself in these situations. He's driving to an area you don't have a lot of real estate to operate with, and you're getting bailed out, luckily, by throwing it up, but you can't take the ball to the deep corners.
Oh, that was close. And now Davis trying to get it back to the top. Baycott gives it up. Black passes it up. Who's going to shoot? Aren't a lot of willing shooters out there right now for Carolina. McCoy stuck. Styles got to put one up. 4 to shoot. He leaves it. Black got to get it up with 2 to shoot. No, didn't hit the rim. Akinjo's got it. 2 on 2. Akinjo takes. Akinjo scores and 1. James Akinjo. A chance at a 3-point play.
Brian, not having that secondary ball handler, shooter, in Love is affecting now the decision-making of North Carolina and actually making it a little easier for Baylor to have to trap and force someone other than Davis to have to beat them.
The last 9.5 minutes, Baylor has outscored North Carolina 30-9. And Akinjo can add to it to make it a 1-possession game. He does. Incredible. Akinjo with 12.5. He's got 16. McCoy, the trigger man, got to put it in. Styles has it. Meyer almost picked up his 5th.
Uh-oh, Meyer's down on his ankle. Twisted his ankle.
It's 5-on-4 for Carolina.
Yes.
Inside, Baycott, and a foul, and that one goes! Baycott a chance at a 3-point play.
And I think it was Flagler that tried to foul Baycott early. Watch at the beginning of this. He's fouling him right now on the floor, and that's what they're trying to say, is that the foul should have been called before the shot went up. But the officials didn't get there in time to call it. And
see if we can pick up here what happened to Matthew Meyer.
Yeah.
He was down in a heap on the other side of the floor.
Yeah,
on his own player, on Sohan.
Oh.
Ouch. So the officials go to the review monitor here. And Meyer is on his way to the locker room with 1:37 remaining. Flo Thamba will return for Baylor. Kip Kissinger and Donnie Epley taking a look. So count the basket. Baycott with the hoop. Flagler called for the foul. And 1:37 remaining in regulation. Been a furious comeback for the Baylor Bears. If they pull it off, it would equal the biggest comeback in NCAA tournament history. Only other team to come back from down 25 to win was BYU back in the first 4 in 2012.
Now the crowd is on their feet right now because they feeling it.
Meyer just trying to get some kind of feeling, but he's going back into the locker room. So Baycott at the line. Carolina's lead is 5. Baycott a good free throw shooter for a big man, and he calmly knocks it down. 2-possession game. Baylor down 6 with the ball.
And you don't need a 3. If you can get a quick 2 and work the clock a little bit and get yourself a good shot, now you can set your defense and see if you can force another turnover.
Baylor's gone small here. Flagler for 3. No, and there's Brown. Brown in for Meyer. Another chance here for Baylor. Kinjo finds Brown. He lost it. Oh, it's going to be North Carolina ball. We're under 2. They can look at this.
Yep.
It looked like Brown touched it last in real time. And they'll be able to go to the monitor and see exactly. This is going to be a big swing here. Deflection.
Yeah. Oh, it's off Brown.
It's off Brown.
Off Brown.
It's going to be UNC basketball.
Yep.
The deflection by McCoy.
Yep, calls a deflection by Brown. Easy call for the officials to reverse this right now.
McCoy knew it.
Yep.
Intense battle here.
Brown knew it too. Brown knew it too.
And there you go. Kip Kissinger overturned the call. It'll be North Carolina basketball. Up 6. Minute 16 remaining. Tar Heels have 1 timeout remaining. Essentially getting a timeout here, though, as they go to review. Baylor with 2 timeouts left. Neither team with a foul to give. Been a ton of fouls in this one.
Yeah, you know, part of the difficulty getting the ball in is that you got a taller player on the ball being Sohan. You got 2 guards up front. Not a lot of room to work with, but you got to make sure that you get this ball in the middle of the court or away from the sideline once again.
Virginia transfer. McCoy gets it in. Oh, Kinjo's right there, and Flagler misses the layup, gets it back. Flagler going. Oh, Baycott denies, but a foul. Baycott blocks the shot. Otherwise, you might be looking at a 3-point play.
Well, the challenge is this, is that you have McCoy taking the ball out of bounds. He's not accustomed to being in this situation. But you can't put him inbounds either and have somebody else take it out, because now you're asking him to handle the ball and make a decision. So when you dig into your bench a little deeper, these are the challenges that Hubert Davis is facing right now.
Styles got hit with a foul. Remember, Baycott's playing with 4 as well. Meyer on his way back. He'll be popping out here momentarily. Second shot for Adam Flagler. What a game he's had. And his first miss. So it's a 5-point game. McCoy picked up his dribble. They break it. Baycott gets it into the front court. Approaching the 1-minute mark. Use as much clock as they can, but somebody's going to have to put up a big shot for the Tar Heels. McCoy stuck. Leaky Black now. One side to the other. Now 4 to shoot. McCoy 3 to shoot. Got to get one up here. In the corner he goes. Styles. No. And Baycott with a rebound. And a foul on the Bears. When you needed a rebound, Baycott delivers.
Yeah, but because of the scrambling defense, that forced James Akinjo to have to be on Baycott. And right now you know who's going to win that battle inside. And that's a big-time offensive rebound for Baycott right there.
Baycott with 10 boards. He's got another double-double. The second offensive rebound. Foul on Akinjo. And Baycott cannot hit the free throw. Could have pushed this into a 3-possession game. Best he can hope for is a 6-point lead now for his Tar Heels. One out of 2. 2-possession game. Baylor with the ball, 38 and change left. Akinjo with Baycott on him, playing with 4 fouls. Here's Sohan, 3-pointer. Oh, off the window! Sohan called glass. And a timeout on the floor.
Hey, listen, give yourself a chance. That ATM card is still good for Baylor. Only down 3 right now. And once again, Baylor able to force North Carolina to have to inbounds the ball under pressure.
Matthew Meyer back on the floor. Rolled his ankle, went to the locker room, maybe a quick retape, and now he's back. Baylor was down 25 at the 10-minute mark. They've been able to cut the deficit to 3 twice. Akinjo's 3-point play, and now Sohan's 3-pointer. Shot clock is off. Leaky Black will put it in. As intense as it gets. There's nothing like the madness of March, folks. 1-possession game. Baycott's got it, and they foul him. That'll be Akinjo. I believe they're going to call for the foul, which will be his 4th, and Baycott will shoot the free throws.
What? Notice the adjustment that Hubert Davis made. Who was taking the ball out of bounds? It was Leaky Black that time instead of Justin McCoy. So he trusted him a little bit more to make the right decision to get it in bounds, and that time bringing Baycott back. Bigger target, able to get it in.
Baycott 4 of 7 from the line. Misses again. Still a 1-possession game. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. The possession arrow belongs to Baylor if there's a tie-up. Huge free throw here to make it a 2-possession game. Missed it. Flagler's got the board. Baylor down 3. Don't need a 3 here, but can take it. See what Akinjo does. He tries to get by Davis, and it goes! Akinjo! He scores it, and a foul, and Baylor a chance to tie.
You called it, BA. You don't need a 3. Knowing how the officials are calling the game, put the pressure on the defense to have to stop you. Davis reaches down at the end, better off just allowing Akinjo just to have that instead of reaching down.
Wow. Down 25. Akinjo, a pressure free throw. We're tied. Timeout Baylor. Tied at 80. 15.8 seconds left. There is nothing in the world like the NCAA tournament.
And it's nothing like a team that is down, that is battle-tested, that didn't give up.
Kenjo with a couple of and ones. One to get him within 3.
Yep.
That was with a little over a minute to play. And then Kenjo on the attack. In the clutch. Scores it. And then knocks down a clutch free throw to tie this game at 80. Incredible.
And Brian, that's why you got to stay engaged during the course of the game. Look, James Kenjo hasn't shot the ball well. But because he didn't get frustrated about not shooting well, he's able to make these plays because his mind is still in the right place.
Brady Manek ejected at the 10-minute mark. Largest comeback win in tournament history. BYU, that was the first 4. 2012, that was a 25-point deficit for BYU. Baylor the same, with a little over 10 to play. And then the controversial flagrant 2 ejection of Brady Manek. Now North Carolina can have a moment. They've got the ball. Shot clock is off. 15.8 seconds left. Styles, McCoy, Leaky Black, R.J. Davis, and Armando Bacot on the floor. Those 2 crucial missed free throws by Bacot open the door for Baylor. Carolina does have 1 timeout remaining. Baylor just used their last. And Hubert Davis will get it into the front court, use that last timeout, and wants to talk it over. Oh, what a game. I mean, what a furious comeback by the defending national champions out of the Big 12, the Baylor Bears. But all that said, Jimmy, Carolina, they've got a chance to win this game right here and advance to the Sweet 16. This was the moment everybody's going to be talking about.
Yep.
And at the time, it's a 25-point lead, ruled as a flagrant 2 upon review, and an ejection of Brady Manek.
But it was so much time left on the clock, and give Baylor a lot of credit. We talked about it, Brian, that, you know, at around the 5 and under 6-minute mark, they were able to get the lead under double digits. So what does that mean? Well, now the pressure is on North Carolina to have to figure out ways to close out the game, and they haven't done that up to this point. Now, I will say this. Where North Carolina is taking the ball out of bounds is a little high. You would prefer to bring the ball down a little bit lower so you have more room to work with in the front court, because now if you get a tip pass, now it can lead to an easier layup for Baylor. So you got to be very cautious on this inbounds play if you're going to inbound it in the backcourt.
How about the contrast of those 2 legendary coaches, Homer Drew and Roy Williams, versus the 2 that are on the floor right now, Scott Drew and Hubert Davis. Yeah, much different feeling.
Yeah. Once a coach, always a coach, man. You just, the nerves right now. That's why I'm sitting next to you, brother. I enjoy this one a lot better.
Tense, man. It's tense. Here we go. Neither team with a timeout remaining. 13 Carolina turnovers this half. One of those was a 5-second violation. If there's a tie-up, possession arrow belongs to Baylor. R.J. Davis, he's been the man. He's got 27 points. 2-man game with Bacot. Sohan on Davis. 3-pointer is short. Bacot puts it up. No, late. And we are headed for overtime. Oh, the Baylor Bears come off the deck down 25 and put another 5 on the clock. We're headed to overtime.
But I thought they waited too late, because what I'm saying, Brian, is that now you don't have a chance for a second shot opportunity. You want to attack it about 8 seconds. You get the shot up, and then you got a chance to Scott Drew right now. All intense and loving it right now. Overtime.
Let's go to OT,
Let's go.
Jimmy. Man. Brady Manek ejected at the 10:08 mark. Baylor outscoring North Carolina 38-13 from that point on. And Scott Drew, as this shot was going up, check him out. On a knee, he can't watch. Can't bother to watch.
No.
And then he hears the result.
Yeah.
And he says, okay.
There he is. Now I'm back. Oh, man, the emotions of a coach, man, that you go through the course of the game.
And now that inexperience with Caleb Love fouling out and Manek ejected. And the starting five a little disrupted here for North Carolina. They win the tip. Davis had the hot hand in the first half, sitting on 27 points, 5 made threes. First possession of overtime. The 5th overtime game in this tournament. Three-pointer from Styles. Yes!
Wow.
Big hit for Dontrez Styles, the freshman.
And somebody has to step up. It can't just be R.J. Davis, because the bulk of the attention of the Baylor defense is going to get the ball out of his hands.
Sohan, no, and Baycott clears. You wonder if those breaks for Baylor calms their nerves, but also for North Carolina, and they get to reset and open up this overtime period. They just couldn't turn the valve off as the Baylor Bears just kept coming and coming. 10 to shoot now. Davis trying to get by Thamba, does so. He'll pull it from the baseline, and no. Baycott there, offensive rebound. Baycott in traffic, a wedgie, and a foul. And Baycott going to the line. Thamba is sitting on 4. If this is on him, he's out. It is his 5th foul, and Flo Thamba.
Well, part of being a great offensive rebounder is understanding positioning on the court early when the shot goes up. No one puts a body on Baycott, so he's able to just maneuver his way inside and get an offensive rebound. That's when you got to be really disciplined defensively to put a body on someone.
Flo Thamba has fouled out. Matthew Meyer will enter. Meyer rolling his ankle late in regulation. So we've had Love foul out for North Carolina. Thamba, ton of foul trouble. Akinjo and Meyer both with 4. And now Baycott with 4. He cannot hit the free throw. Now it's starting to get in his head a little bit. Send it to Allie LaForce.
Baycott, what have you improved on most this season? He said it was his rebounding. He said, I didn't become a good rebounder until college. Playing under Coach Williams, he always emphasized it because it is a staple of UNC basketball. Going into this year, my goal was to break the rebounding record, finish 3rd in the nation in double-doubles, but is always looking at who's ahead of him, guys.
Good stuff there, Allie. And the rebounding is big. Knocked down a big free throw. He needed to see one go through. Baycott had missed 3 in a row and 4 of 5 until he hits that one. 2-possession game. Baylor down 4 with the ball. Flagler on the take. Up and over Baycott. No, Meyer. And he is fouled. Meyer with the offensive rebound. And the foul on Styles of North Carolina. Free throws here for Matthew Meyer.
Well, but Meyer was able to get that offensive rebound. Why? Because the switch brought Baycott out of the paint. Okay, and that's what you wanted. He was able to contest, but Meyer right there able to clean up that miss and get himself to the free throw line.
Calmly cashes that one in. 3-point game. Meyer entering for Thamba. And who's going to be left when this one comes to the finish line? We're in overtime. Meyer 2 for 2. 2-point game. Carolina with a lead in the ball. 3.5 to go in this first overtime. McCoy gets it across. And now McCoy on a run. Meyer stands in. And it's going the other way. Offensive foul. Again, Meyer standing in there, playing with 4 fouls.
And McCoy just a little too aggressive in the Baylor defense. Once again, you force another North Carolina player other than R.J. Davis to, 1, handle the ball, and 2, have to make a decision. Not a good one that time by McCoy.
Unfamiliar minutes for 2 of these Carolina players right now, Styles and McCoy. Akinjo. Couple crosses. Akinjo goes. Can't finish with the left. Myers kept it alive. Now Sohan. Sohan with the layup. We're tied at 84. Black hurried up. Baycott now. And Myers going to be called for the foul to reach around. And Meyer is out.
Wow.
His 5th foul.
Well, good help this time by Leaky Black, but it's the hustle, Sohan right here, and the finish between 3 defenders, and then the reach around here.
Got him.
Got him right
Easy
on the
call.
elbow.
Can't do that.
No, you got to know that when you have 4 fouls, your importance is better on the court.
So they're going to the monitor here. It's not for the foul situation. They're going to go back and check the 3-point try to see if it was a 3 or a 2. You do this now.
He's behind it.
Yeah, he's Styles' foot behind the line there.
Yep.
And so confirm that. Quick little step back.
Just enough. That was a big shot right there for.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
So confirm the 3. Freshman Dontrez Styles into some crunch time minutes in this round 2 matchup.
And you never know when your number is going to get called. That's why you got to stay engaged mentally.
Free throws for Baycott. Thamba and Meyer fouling out. And now he's made his last 2 after missing 3 in a row. Armando Baycott, finished runner-up, ACC Player of the Year. Rolondis Williams of Wake Forest. And now he's got a stroke back. Hits 2 clutch free throws for Carolina.
And let's see if Baylor goes back into that pick and roll situation to get Baycott back on Flagler. You see it up top.
Flagler on the take. Can't get it to go. High off the window. In and out. Carolina holds serve.
Man, what a clean look that time by Flagler. Just unable to capitalize on the drive.
He made a big one, very similar to that in the regulation. There's the switch. Bonner now on Davis. Davis gets a step, runs into traffic, and Brown knocked it out of his hands. 10 to shoot. Carolina ball with 2:21 left.
And remember early, Carolina got some good looks underneath out of bounds. See if Baylor has made the adjustments to take any clean looks away.
If you're just picking this up, Baylor was down 25 with 10 minutes to play. Now we're in overtime as Baycott. He is fouled, and he is now aggressive. It always works that way. You start making a few free throws, you get a lot more aggressive going to the basket.
Well, you feel better about yourself, and you feel that if you do get fouled, you're comfortable enough to get to the free throw line and confident that you can convert it. And I like the quick move that time on Sohan. Right before the defense got set, he was able to find the lane.
Missed it. This would tie the biggest comeback in NCAA tournament history, but North Carolina wants no part of that history. Trying to hold off Baylor without 2 of their starters. Baycott missed them both. Sohan the rebound. Baylor down 2. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Akenjo on the attack, and he is fouled.
Why reach?
R.J. Davis just grabbed him by the arm. And if it is in fact on R.J. Davis, he's going to be out.
In that situation, here it is. Okay, you're beat, Brian. But guess who's on the back line? Baycott. So you got to rely on your back line defense that they're going to contest this shot. And you don't have to reach down and bail Akenjo out.
So it is the 4th on Davis. Baycott still with 4, and Akenjo misses the free throw. And there's got to be some exhaustion in play here too. The intensity of the NCAA tournament.
But this is when, at the time of game, your mental aspect has to override the physical drain. That's when you got to be mentally fresh.
Black puts it up in the air. Baycott's got it, gives it up. Davis on the breakaway, and behind it is Flagler, who knocks it out of bounds. And he wants him to look at it. He thinks Davis may have touched it last. We'll see. Flagler running the length of the floor for the chase down here.
Oh, he did.
You're not under 2 minutes. You can't look at it.
Can't look at it.
It's 2:02.
Yep.
That's a break for North Carolina. Sohan on Baycott.
Nice.
Gives it up. Black.
Nice.
And Black Scores. Big shot. 3-point game. Akinjo to tie it. No, short. Baycott clears the rebound.
Didn't need it. I thought that was a little bit too early.
Akinjo playing with 4 fouls as well. You got to be careful. Minute and a half to go. First overtime. What an incredible game this has been. Carolina has not surrendered, though. Here's Davis. Davis is fouled, and it goes! R.J. Davis a chance at a 3-point play.
Let's go back. Baycott feeling the pressure. Leaky Black finds the opening, delivers, gets it, and then the man who has been consistent for Carolina all afternoon, able to get by his defender, finish through the contact, now at the free throw line to see if he can complete this 3-point play.
Went to the offhand too, Jimmy.
Yes.
Davis, a career high 29 points, make it 30. He's got a 30-piece in round 2 of the NCAA tournament with his backcourt running mate Caleb Love on the bench, fouling out. 2-possession game. 1:18 to go. Flagler. Black on him. Carolina's top defender. Flagler trying to get a step. Flagler, no. The follow. Sohan, no. And Bonner off his leg right into the hands of McCoy. Carolina basketball. Under a minute to go. The lead is 6. Looking for the trap. And off the glass. Oh my goodness. Black was looking for Baycott. What a huge mistake there. He's trying to pass it to Baycott, and he throws it off the backboard. And it's Baylor ball.
Well, but again, Leaky Black buries himself close to the sideline again, not giving you himself a lot of room to operate.
Oh.
That's about the 4th time he's done that.
Down 6. Akinjo gets inside, finds Flagler, 3-pointer. In and out. And Baycott with a rebound. Carolina starting to sense it now. 2-possession game. Got a foul. No. Knocked out of his hands. Ball's on the ground. Sohan's got it. And going to be a timeout. Was there possession to get a timeout? That is the question. Sohan down injured. So Baylor gets the timeout as Brown gets the deflection right there. Man, I don't know, that was close. And the timeout was called from the bench. So Baylor ball when we come back. 91-85. It's a 6-point game. That scramble on the floor for the basketball. And the officials giving the timeout. This timeout was called from the bench, by the way. Scott Drew, when you're under 2 minutes, you can do that. And was there possession enough to grant that timeout? That is the question.
And so
for an explanation, what'd you see there, Gene?
Yeah, I agree with Jimmy on that play. Look, as soon as Sohan cups that basketball with his left arm and pins it against his body, you can see him verbally looking at Kip Kissinger requesting the timeout. Right at that point, we take a look, timeout, timeout. It's before McCoy gets both hands down there. You've got to react quick. Kip Kissinger closes in on the play and grants the timeout. I definitely agree with that assessment on with Kip Kissinger.
Good stuff there, Gene. And that opens the door for the Baylor Bears here. Down 6 with the basketball. 25 seconds left. Bonner will put it in. Flagler, he's going to the hole. And he hits the deck hard and is fouled. Man, Flagler, he has had 2 hard falls in this game.
Yeah, once you leave your feet like this and you're going into traffic, and this time, it's back of his head. I think that's the second time he's hit his head on the deck. And again, he couldn't brace himself at all to absorb some of that impact, and good to see him get up. There'll be a lot of ice on bodies after this game, I can tell you that.
Well, Flagler's going to the line to shoot 2. 21 second half points. Listen in. The tailbone, the back of the head. He's played great, and he's playing with a bad knee anyway. He's been limiting his practice time. A report there, the athletic trainer came on the floor, so Flagler's not going to be able to take the free throws. He was trying to get back to the line quick, but
they got to pick a player to shoot it that's on the floor. In the old days, you can pick a guy off the bench, but it has to be one of the 4 that are on the floor. And Turner has to check in real quick before they put Flagler back in.
So Sohan is the selection.
And that's 57% right there. Free throw shooter able to knock in the first one.
Calmly. I mean, Hubert Davis putting him on the line. And Sohan comes up short. 1 out of 2. Ball's loose again. It's going to be a tie up. Baylor has the possession. So it's going to be a held ball here. And it's going to be Baylor basketball with 18.2 left. So you get the free throw. And now a chance at 2 or 3 more. And it also allows Flagler to sub back into the game.
So it kind of worked out in their favor. You take a Flagler who's 74% from the free throw line off the court. You make 1, but then you're able to retain possession.
18 seconds remaining. Sohan, step back 3. Sohan, no. Oh, in and out of the hands of McCoy. Bonner runs it down. Baylor still breathing here. Bonner, 3-pointer. That one, an air ball and out of bounds. And it's Carolina basketball with 4.8 seconds remaining. And now Bonner is down and injured.
I mean, this was a sequence. The shot, Sohan misses. McCoy can't reel it in. Bonner gives it up. And kind of just flings it up there and gets hit afterwards. That time by Styles.
Ooh.
And they got a piece of the arm, I mean a hand right there.
Could have easily been 3 free throws. It'll be Carolina basketball. 4.8 seconds remain. 91-86. Kip Kissinger back to the replay monitor. Been a ton of replays here. Trying to see if the ball was tipped. You can't go back and assess a foul. It's big because if it's tipped, it'll be Baylor ball. Right now, it's an air ball out of bounds. It's got to be conclusive, and I don't see anything that would lead you to believe that there was contact. There was certainly contact on the hand.
Definitely. And the way the ball came off, it looks like it may have been tipped, but it wasn't because it was so short. But the follow through and the extension of Bonner couldn't be had because there was contact on the shooting hand. But the officials can't go back and look at that and change that.
Well, there have been so many difficult calls in this game.
I'll tell you what, we've had in the last 2 days 3 dead ball technical fouls. I haven't seen one all year. We had them 3 in the last 2 days right there. So it's not tipped, but the hand is hit.
So North Carolina basketball, after they look at the review again, you can't go back and assess a foul in that situation. And they do put added seconds on the clock. 5.9 seconds left. Carolina will put it in. Baylor will try to get a quick foul. Here's McCoy and the foul. That's going to be Akinjo's 5th foul.
Yeah.
And Akinjo, first team all Big 12 performer, will join Meyer and Thamba on the bench. Justin McCoy at the line for North Carolina. The Virginia transfer. And he knocks down the free throw. And now the reality starting to set in here. To make it a 3-possession game with 3.9 seconds left. McCoy knocks him down. Carolina is going to survive. And the defending national champions, the Baylor Bears, are out in round number 2. A 1 seed is gone in the East. A 2 seed is gone in the East, Kentucky. And North Carolina is moving on to the Sweet 16 in Philadelphia.
But Brian, it wasn't easy. Give a lot of credit to Baylor when they got down for not hanging their heads, applied some pressure, really forced North Carolina to dig a little deeper to close it out. Like I said, to beat the champs, you got to close them out and really beat them. And Carolina, despite the flaws down the stretch, were able to make the plays necessary at the end of the game in overtime to walk out.
What a great game, a great battle. A terrific comeback by the Bears, but they come up short as North Carolina closes on a 7-1 run in overtime to finish off the defending champs. So Carolina advances. It'll be St. Mary's or UCLA to match up in Philadelphia in the Sweet 16 as we send it to Allie LaForce.
Well, Coach, you're up 25. You go to overtime. How's your blood pressure doing?
No, it's doing pretty good. You know what I am? I'm so proud of these guys because we've been in this situation before all season, and they've come through. This is a group of toughness, resiliency, and I'm so proud of them. Now one of the things that I desperately wanted for them, I wanted them to have their own testimonies, their own stories, their own memories of putting on that Carolina uniform and coming up big in big-time moments and big-time games. And as a coach, that makes you so proud to be able to see the smiles on these faces and see these guys step up. It is all because of them, and I'm so proud of them.
You've had a lot of those moments this season, hopefully more to come. Thank you, Coach. One thing Coach always said about you, RJ, is that you'll do whatever the team needs to get the win. It was scoring points tonight, a career high for you in points. What was your mentality, and how did you rally this team to hang on?
Just to get a rhythm. I knew what kind of game it was going to be. I knew it was going to go down to the wire. My teammates trusted me. My coach trusted me. It was all about making plays towards the end of the game, and that's what I did. I felt confident, and I had the rhythm going the whole game.
Well, you had to do it without 2 starters, too, for most of that second half, Love and Manic. How'd you overcome that?
My teammates, the guys, the key players that came in, they came in when Caleb and Brady were out the game and made big-time plays. And that's what we needed. Everyone was contributing to this game, and everyone bought in. I think that's why we came victorious today.
Enjoy the win. Thanks so much, RJ.
Appreciate it.
What a performance. Carolina Tar Heels, they'll be making their 30th Sweet 16 appearance, most all time. Coming up on CBS, it's Creighton against Kansas, another #1 seed. We'll send you to our studio first for Capital One Tournament Central right after these messages. What a game. Carolina moving on.